morning, one trade war is on after the U.S. retreated from two others. The Wall Street Journal declared this morning Trump blinks on tariffs against Canada and Mexico after receiving concessions the countries had largely agreed to weeks or months ago. But China is a different story. A 10% tariff on Chinese imports went into effect at midnight. China retaliated immediately, a 15% tax on U.S. coal, 10% on U.S. crude oil, and large displacement cars and pickup trucks. Also, an investigation into Google for allegedly violating their anti-monopoly regulations. So this is the back and forth over just the last few hours. Let's get right to CNN's Elena Treen at the White House. Mark Stewart standing by in Beijing. Elena, first to you. This is a trade war, the one that Donald Trump has not backed off from.
That's exactly right. And as you mentioned, John, the president's widespread 10% tariffs on all of Chinese goods went into effect at 12:01 this morning. We saw Beijing immediately retaliate with a barrage of their own measures. But look, this 10% figure is a far cry from the 60% figure we know that the president repeatedly talked about and threatened to levy on China throughout his time on the campaign trail. And it really signals that if the two countries cannot come to some sort of deal, we could see these tariffs increase even further. Now, we did hear the president kind of speak to this yesterday while in the Oval Office. Take a listen to how he put it.
We'll have some good meetings with China. We have meetings planned, and we'll see what happens. But that was just an opening salvo. If we can't make a deal with China, then the tariffs will be very, very substantial.
So you heard him, John, say that this is just an opening salvo. Now, look, we do know that the president is expected to speak directly with Chinese President Xi Jinping in the coming days. Unclear exactly when that will happen. But the key question, of course, is whether or not we could see some sort of swift deal come into place, just like we saw the president reach with both Canada and Mexico. Tariffs, of course, which were supposed to also go into effect at 12:01 today, but they were able to push that off for a month while the two sides continue to speak. Now, one thing as well that I know I'm picking up on in my conversations is how different Republicans could respond to a deal like that. We know many Republicans, particularly those on Capitol Hill, are a bit skeptical right now of whether the president is still just as hawkish on China as he has been in the past. It seems, if he is willing to make a deal with Xi Jinping, and maybe if these tariffs end up seeing an off-ramp like he had with the other countries, we could be hearing a lot of criticism from some of the hawks on Capitol Hill.